Oh,
Live. We're live.
good morning, everyone. Bruddc Entertainment and Danny Quinn in the house.
How are you doing this
How are
morning,
you?
Danny?
Yeah, I'm really good. Just still staying focused, still positive. Yeah, really, I'm in a really good. I'm taking some time off TikTok today because it's draining me.
I do pop in now and then and see you talking, and it always seems to be like deep chats that you're in, sort of, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, oh, not too much of them deep chats, especially, if especially most of us are dealing with our own demons and our own like life problems and stuff like that, so it's hard to take on too much of
yeah.
everyone else's sort of, I wouldn't
I
say,
have to, yeah,
but.
I have to put boundaries in place because, like, I can get over the top. I
Mhm.
might, I might feel better later and pop on for a little while, but
Yeah.
it is a lot to take on because you're giving you free time, and it's hard sometimes because I'm like, well, yesterday I was getting frustrated, so I knew, well, I need to take a bit of time off, kind of thing. So
Mm.
I have to put boundaries in place. Otherwise, I'm going to get the ump.
Fair
It's
enough.
fair. If I'm not okay, I'm not okay for other people.
Fair enough. We have a good morning from Travis. I'm
Oh, good
assuming it's to you.
morning.
Good morning, Travis. Sorry, we missed a few of your texts. We'll try not to miss any this morning. All right, let's start off with some sport, shall we? Last night in the Champions League, and as a Man United fan, I take no joy in rubbing salt in the wounds of Liverpool. But Liverpool fans for a long time have been shitting on Man United. I swear down, they've literally been shitting on us, laughing at us. They've had a bit of success last night. This season, not going great for them. Champions League first leg yesterday, they took the lead 2-0 up. What could go wrong? 5 goals later, Real Madrid spanked them. So Liverpool took a heavy spanking last night in the Champions League. So yeah, and that's it. I'm not going to rub any salt in the wound over there. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so the first story of the day, Danny. Prince Harry and Prince Harry and Meghan, I'll say. God knows it. I don't know about their titles, if they still got them or whatever now. They are suing South Park for making some offensive cartoons about them last night.
Oh,
Did
that,
you hear any of it by any chance?
no, I've not heard any of it.
All right. Uh,
Have you got a
give
clip of it?
give me a second. I should be able to put a clip up.
All right.
I'll put a clip up and we'll react to it and see
And
whether
I'll
it
give you the
warrants
feedback.
whether it warrants them suing a cartoon.
Yeah, I
um,
don't know. Like, I don't know what it says, so I'll wait till I've heard what it says because otherwise I'll jump to conclusions
mm, mm.
like I
It, wa-
do.
it did. To be fair, it did. For me, it seemed very like light-hearted banter a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines? What are you suggesting? Well, I just think some people might say that your
Can't hear
Instagram-loving bitch
nothing.
wife
Can't
actually
hear
doesn't
it.
want her privacy. How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving bitch wife has always wanted her privacy.
Did you not hear that at all?
Well, it is a bit
Oh yeah, it
blurry,
is.
isn't it?
It is a bit weird. They didn't really say much. Basically, they were just making a joke about. Basically, it starts off with them saying, coming on and saying, "We're not happy. We want our privacy." And then basically, South Park take over and sort of take the piss. You're saying you want privacy, but your wife has a private TV show and all this blah blah blah. Basically, just making a bit of a mockery of it, sort of thing. But
Yeah, I think it's over. I think that's over the top. I mean, come on, if you're famous, you're gonna get all people like taking the piss. That's just a bit
it
too much. Like they're not going into detail about anything. I think that's a bit over the top.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's the price of fame.
Yeah,
You get famous, and then you're a bullseye.
yeah.
Everyone's got an opinion. And they want to. Most of the time, they want to share it. So
I do like the Harry and Meghan because they have a lot to do with addiction and they help. They do gift people that so I've got respect for them.
mhm.
But that's a bit stupid
Yeah, a bit
if you
a bit
ask me. Yeah,
a bit petty, that one. I mean,
yeah,
there were a few distasteful articles that some of the newspapers put out about them, just sort of like
yeah,
just like trying to take little digs here and there, and I was like, that's a bit too much. But this South Park thing, I think it's just a little bit of banter. I think they've got
yeah,
I think they've
yeah.
got to
That's a
suck
bit
it up a
over
little
the
bit.
top. Yeah, I do like them too, though. They do a lot, and I think like be your own people and do your own thing. And I do think that it's a lot of pressure on them to be because they've gone their separate ways, haven't they, from what the rest of the family are doing. But I do think like they're under strict rules, and I think good luck to the pair of them.
Yeah, I mean, what I like about them is like we have this royal family, but they keep everything so private. We don't ever see anything, hear anything. It's all what they want to show us and what they only show us what they want us to see and stuff. But I think what's nice is where Prince Harry's sort of like he's doing interviews. You're actually getting to meet the real people. Then you can actually connect with them, And I think now his dad needs to do if his dad wants to be respected a bit more and wants people to actually take the monarchy a bit more seriously, I think as King of England, he should be able to he should be able to say, all right, son, you know what? Shit happens. I'm gonna put my hand around you and come on, man. You that would show that would actually create a lot of he would get so much respect for that, bringing his family up, rather than like hiding behind they've got their press that work for them. Harry's got their press that works for them.
They take it as embarrassment towards the family, don't they? But I think good luck to the pair of them, like doing their own thing. I think everybody needs to be doing their own thing.
Definitely.
Imagine being under pressure like that and being told what you can and can't do continuously. That would drive me insane.
I don't think any of us can even comprehend what that's like at that level, within the royal institution, I don't think anyone can comprehend what that's like. You can't wear this, can't wear that. Oh, we lost you for a second there. You got to do this, you got to do that, and it's not great, is it? It's not the best. It's not the best. No. Like she said, she kind of described it as like being in prison. I mean, a lot of people will be like, how could you compare that to prison? You're living in a mansion, you've got everyone doing everything for you, but as time and time after time, you hear life stories from people. Money and fame doesn't always bring happiness, most of the time it brings a lot of freaking how many celebrities have killed themselves and stuff.
Happy, ain't you? It's money does help, but you got to make yourself happy before anything, because I know people that have got loads of money but they live a miserable life.
Yeah,
about you yourself.
Yeah. Did you see that HS Tiki Toki, whatever his name is? He made a video sort of mocking mental health. He sort of made a video basically saying, you people moaning, saying you don't feel well. Yes. Did you see that, did you? And he was really mocking them.
He got my back up because I've lived with the bad mental health side. But however, I've also now come out of that side. So I understand both sides now. But I did get my back up, because let's say that he got that mental health all of a sudden and suffered with depression. It can happen overnight, just like that, coming at you like a ton of bricks, like it did me.
Yeah, I think what.
Man, he was. You on about the one that's sitting in the sunbed on the? Yeah. I think he was a bit nasty about it.
Yeah, I think what pissed a lot of people off is that he tried to make it sound like money's going to solve all your problems. You don't need to get out, go start earning big money, and then you're going to start feeling great. No, how many celebrities do they're famous, got everything, and they can't, and they're battling addiction, just like you were back in your day, sort of thing. The money, obviously it helps, it gives them more resources and stuff like that, but money is not going to help you when it comes to mental health. It's not going to help you. Yes, you can get the best, but you still got to go through the process like everyone else.
It still doesn't matter how many counselling sessions it buys you. It doesn't matter. It's a mind over matter game.
Okay. 100%. Okay, we'll leave them alone for a minute. Okay, the next one. This one's getting my back up a little bit. This lady claiming to be Madeleine McCann's claiming to be Madeleine.
Claiming to be Madeleine McCann.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I was like, you jumped to conclusions, didn't you? So I was like, it does look like her. Looking at the pictures of Dad and the comparison, looking at like the ones that have been put up, and I'm like, there are similarities, and obviously the freckle and the eye, because it's a rare thing to have that. But my daughter looked a bit like her when she was younger.
Come
so I
on,
was like,
come on. I think
goes,
I,
it goes
I,
to show you.
I know
But
people. I know people who's got kids that you could quite easily say they look the double of Madeline. You know,
yeah,
babies,
I'm
babies
saying,
when they're young, you know, young kids, they
yeah.
all look alike. You know, like you know,
Yeah.
they generally tend to look alike. Like you
That's
know.
what I was saying about my daughter. That's everyone used to say, "God, she looks like her, like about the age of 4 or 5 it is."
Mm.
And that's what I'm saying. Now I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking, well, even people said that about my kids, you know. So, and it's just now I'm thinking, is it just to get money?
A publicity stunt.
Yeah, like a pub because they're poor. I don't know whether they come across like they are, and I'm thinking if it is, then it's a bit sickening to do something like that because that's someone's child.
And the thing is that she's coming on TV doing all these. You notice that none of the major news outlets are actually reporting this. It's all TikTok medias, people that are just trying to sell a story and just trying to get views up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She knows who her grandma is. She's been brought up by her grandma. So when I heard all these stories, oh, she doesn't know who her mum is. She doesn't know this. She's been abused. This, that. I'm like, wait a minute. She knows who her mum is. They had there's a picture of her and the woman that she thinks is her mum, and they are identical.
Yeah.
I wish I had it up. Who they are identical.
Wow.
That woman that claiming to be Madeline, she has her and her mum look identical. The woman who she thinks is the reason why she's actually coming out saying it, she's saying that there's no photos of before I was like 4 years old or anything like that. There's no photos. The photos are only like after the age of 4 sort of thing. That's why she believes that she might be Madeline. I'm like, that's bullshit. You know who your grandma is. You could do a DNA test with your grandma just to see if you look.
That's what I'm saying. It's a bit twisted because her family are refusing the DNA, but then she's heard conversations of apparently her mum and nan in the kitchen, and they're whispering stuff. So, and they're saying about stuff. So it's like some things they're saying, and then they're going back on what they're saying. So I just think maybe it's total bullshit.
Yeah, and
But if
unfortunately,
I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. But
me too. Me too. I'm exactly the same. I've looked at it. As soon as I saw her talking and the way she was talking, like before you even start calling out Madeline's name, saying you're Maddie, you freaking go to your grandma. You say, Grandma, if I'm related to you, then our DNA should match in some way or form, and they should be able to.
If you live with someone, why wouldn't you get a hair off the fucking pillowcase and send that off with your hair?
They don't want to do that because they want to milk the story, and that's what kind of like it's kind of putting my back up a little bit about that story.
That's what I'm saying. There's ways about it because you'd go think right now, go and get a hair off the pillowcase, get one of your hairs out, put it in an envelope, boom, job done. So why wouldn't you do that if you didn't? There's ways about it, isn't there?
And then moving swiftly on, we'll move on from that. It's a tough one, but we have to go to that Nicola Bulley situation. One of the divers has come out and said categorically her body was never in that water. They found her. A bunch of pedestrians walking their dogs found her body in some vines by the bank. So not even in the water. They found it in the bank, as if like someone's come back to the scene and dashed her body in the vines. And
I believe it was put there. The body was put there after. After they outed that they think it's in the river.
Mm-hmm. These situations,
it's been checked, hasn't it?
Yeah, they checked the river. They were checking. They were checked straight away. Then they had deep checks, and then and can you imagine? There's a missing person, high profile. She's all over the news. There would have been people walking their dogs up and down that path for how long? This was 3 weeks. There's no way that body sat there for 3 weeks on a bank in the vines without people seeing it. That would have stunk one, and it would have brought dogs and brought everything to it. So
it's sad. It's so sad.
It's very sad.
Got kids and everything, but I hope their families as well as can be, and must be a hard time they're going through. And I just it's just sad.
Yeah, I think the police are more worried about looking embarrassed because obviously it's a very embarrassing thing. One, if they haven't found that body, then it wasn't even in the water, just in some vines. And two, even more embarrassing if someone's been able to come in, sneak that body past them, and put it in there, knowing that knowing the severity of the case and how big it is, how high profile it
I
is.
hope they find some cameras around that area and catch whoever it is. But I always just think that it's someone close to them or someone she knows. I've just got a gut feeling.
Yeah. Do you know when things don't add up? When things don't add up, there's normally something more to it. If it was a simple case of her falling in the water and drowning, being found underneath, being found where she fell, her dog's harness still on with the lead and stuff like that, not the harness taken off the dog, and I don't know. For me, it's a tough one. It's almost like the dog must have known someone to be that close to be able to, like, I don't know. It's just weird. It just seems like just very suspicious. I'll say. Yeah, very suspicious.
We wish our family all the best, and that's all we can do, you know.
And that's literally it. I think definitely that there's a lot more. I think we haven't heard half of this story, and a lot more will come out.
You know, there's something like that's more important than the Madeline McCann. Well, I don't know actually. I'm just no. Don't ignore me. That's an actual. I don't know. I was going to say then. I'm glad I stopped it.
Yeah, sometimes we have to do that. Unfortunately, live. We are live, guys. We're not scripted. You know, we have a brief couple of topics that we want to talk about, but you know, we will go off and up, down, left, right. You know, it is our show. We can do what we want, and you know. So, Danny, I'll leave this bit to you now. You said you had some random questions, random funny questions for me. I'm assuming this is. No, okay.
Who do you think would win in a fight, Batman or Superman?
No discussion. I don't know what. A lot of people come out with this. There's so many diehard Batman fans. Yeah, so many diehard Batman fans. No, no. Batman can never fight Superman. You know, that will just never work. You know, never work. Batman versus Superman. You know, Batman is a man, first of all. Superman just has to fly over to him, grab him, take him up to the sun, and throw him in it, and leave him there, and then the fight's over. You know.
Right. So, if you're using a zombie eclipse, what weapon would you use? What would be your weapon of choice?
Do you know what? Yeah, when I watch these, like, I watch a lot of like Walking Dead and stuff like that. I think, I love that Walking Dead. I love that. That's
I don't like none of that.
Do you know what? A lot of people say that about Walking, but I think Walking Dead, is kind of different because there's stories and you buy into the characters. It's like it's a lot more than just like a zombie movie. There's a lot of stories, a lot of politics behind them. But do you know? Obviously,
you're very good with your films and that, though, aren't you? You've got a good memory.
I'm a
and you remember the names of films. See, me, I watch film and I don't even know what it's called. But after I press play.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, zombie apocalypse. Obviously, if you had the choice, obviously you'd want some sort of big ass gun that you could drill people. But if it's a situation, if it's a situation where you have to fight people, where you have to fight them and kill them with your hands and sort of a weapon, I would have to have some sort of like I can't remember. Someone had it. It's like a glove with a massive sort of like. With a massive sort of spike on it, and you can just punch them, and you just punch them once in the head, and literally it just kills them. Once you damage the brain, then they're dead, sort of thing. So if I'm like that,
I just want to ask you some stupid questions just to see what your answer was. I was interested because I know.
Oh yeah,
you're like a teenager, really. Like,
I am.
Watching your little kid films.
Go on then. What else you got for me?
All right. How many chickens would you think it'd take to kill an elephant?
I don't think there is a number of chickens that could kill an elephant, unfortunately.
I was trying to think about it, and I was thinking, there must be thousands.
Do you know what?
Elephants have got thick skin.
An interesting question, which a lot of people talk about, is how many human beings would it take to take out how many males, like men, would it take to kill a male gorilla? And a lot of people said like 100, but hand to hand, there's not a lot you can actually do to that gorilla without any
No,
weapons. There's not a lot you can actually
I
do
think
to that
the gorilla
gorilla.
would win.
I
The
think it
gorilla
would
would win. They're so
because
strong.
they are literally so
Yeah.
strong. Like you just, it's literally, they can't even judge their strength. Like if
They're
they
so powerful.
if they just swing a punch and hit you, they're gonna break every single. There's nothing you can do. Even big men, like, you can. What are you gonna do? You're gonna grab it around the neck and try and choke it out. It's not gonna happen. That thing is gonna be mauling people, just crunching bone, breaking backs, everything.
I like to watch the documentaries on the gorillas, like, and you see that they're so fascinating to watch them and swinging from the trees, and just like that they're so. I just love it. Do you want about the one in the zoo that time where the baby fell?
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen
and
that.
it looked after the baby. Like, I was. Could you imagine being the parent of that?
Oh my God! I've actually thought about that as well a few times. What that one you're talking about, where it actually, like, the male gorilla kept all his family away from it and pushed it away. That was the good one. But there was that. Is it Marabi or whatever his name was? That was the one where the kid fell in and the gorilla grabbed it and he was dragging it, and it looked like he was drowning. It looked like he was drowning it and everything.
Yeah.
Let me get that.
That's the way they treat their, like, if it was the gorilla's baby, they pick it up like that. That's they're not their human, not their human. That's their way to do it, isn't it? So being the parent and that would happen. Wow, could you imagine?
I think I would have had to. I think I would have probably jumped in. Being me, I would have jumped in and tried to distract it, so at least my child could get away. But I think I would have. I think. Yeah, go. No, I just said I think I'd be in for a very brutal death, unfortunately, because you could, like, you have to just be like, if you went in there, it's gonna come straight for you. I mean, you think in that situation, like, I've seen situations like where people, like, just, it's like fight or flight, but when it comes to your children, like, something just takes over you. You're not thinking straight. So I'd probably do something stupid in that situation.
Yeah, I think that's a dad thing. But then I think if you did that, it's going to then attack you and then probably go for the child as well.
Yeah.
How did they get the child off the gorilla?
It's a very sad story. They shot the gorilla.
Oh, I never knew the ending.
Yeah, they shot the gorilla. Let me get.
Not even like made him pass out. With the
no,
not to have to kill it. They could have give it that.
I think it was just it was a thing where people were just panicking. It was because it looked like it was drowning the baby at one point, and the mum was obviously going crazy, screaming and stuff like that. But I don't know, But I don't know. Maybe I would have gone in there and been like tried to cower down and be like, take me instead, sort of thing. But like,
you just don't know, do you? Like,
no, it's a tough one.
Thing to do that, because that's like a male dominating thing. Like you wanted to get your kid, whereas a woman, I think I would just free. I just don't know, but I would definitely would never want to go to the zoo again.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing a lot of, like, I don't know if you've seen like dog attacks now, like, are going through the roof, and I've seen a lot of videos at the minute where dogs are like coming on, grabbing kids, and the mums are like fighting them off and stuff like that. I see
all these mixed breeds, I think, and the miniature things, the big things, like the miniature ones, they're so snappy, and the little ones are worse, I think, but they just get away with it because they're not as big dogs. And I thought that's the bad thing, because when I had the big dog, I used to have all these little ones attacking my dog and hanging off its cheek and all that. But I think even if your dog's like that, keep it on a muzzle and keep it on a fucking lead. Like,
I think that's where we're going with this dog attack thing. I think it will be very soon. I think it will be mandatory for dogs to have a muzzle on if they're outside. And I think owners will be fined big bucks if they're not muzzled, because that's the only way it's going. Because
I don't care. I don't think even for the little dogs, they should not even on size. Every dog should have to have a muzzle if they're going out.
Oh my God! I'll tell you this funny story. I was walking my dog once, when he was alive. My dog, my big Labrador, and I saw this man coming towards me, and this man had one of these tiny little Jack Russell. Like, I mean, it was like smaller than this part of my hand. It was so small, and like I see him in front of me stop, and then he like starts panicking, and then I see him putting this tiny little muzzle on the dog's mouth, and I'm walking towards it, and I'm like, really, really?
Because it might be because the little one, like my nan had a Jack Russell, and I didn't know. I come in my mum's house and it bit my arse and was hanging off my arse because I'm running around screaming, and I had this tail wagging on me. I was absolutely wasted out of my head. Then I was trying to sneak in because I didn't know the dog was there. My mum was looking after it for my nan, and it was a vicious little fucker, that thing. I tell you, I cannot stand Jack Russells because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a situation at the minute where I'm debating what dog to get now, and
you're gonna get a new one?
Yeah, probably soon. Yeah. I saw your Rotty I saw your Rotty in one of your videos when you was when you had the corn. I saw that video and I was like, oh, I've always wanted a Rottweiler.
You know what? Go for it, but you've got to give them tough love from the start, and make sure you feed them and let the kids feed them as well. You have to do that so you get the kids involved and they're involved, but you've got to give tough love from the start.
You have to.
They're amazing, beautiful, protective, and they're such a they're beautiful dogs.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Yeah, they are.
Absolute 100%.
But with them dogs, you need to let it know early that you're the boss. If you like, I see a lot of people like just pansying around their dog, like, oh my god, stop it, and the dog's bullying them, the dog's pulling them.
Very clever.
Of course, they know.
He trained, so I put him out. If you do it, I'll put him outside every 15 minutes the first day. Second day, every half hour. Third day, left the door open, kept walking out there with him, toilet trained. They're so clever, and the sit, paw, and all that. He knew within a week, roll over, everything. They're so intelligent.
Yeah, when my dog was younger, when he was from about 1 to 2, he had this thing where he would just go in the garden, and then once I let him out of the garden, he would just run around and go crazy. He wouldn't come back in, wouldn't listen to me until he's so bad. It's got so embarrassing. What I had to do was I had to start putting treats, like one there, bringing him towards the door, and then he was so smart. He would literally just eat the sweets and then run off. And then I would go freaking berserk. And then one day I shouldn't really say this. One day I had this toy of his. It looked like, them rubber toys. It looked like one of those lesbian toys that that lesbians use, the double ones. It looked like one of those. He had one of those. Like, I got so angry, I grabbed it and slung it at him, and it hit him. And from that day on, all I had to do was put my hand up in the air, ping, literally, like a little mouse. Literally, he would just dart into the house straight away, and
they bring so much happiness, don't they? And then when it left a massive hole in my heart. I now ain't got him, and it's like I've got so much going on, and I want to get another dog, but then I want to I've got so much travelling and stuff I want to do. So I don't want to.
I hear you.
In that position where it's left and gone back and forth. So I'll wait till I'm old and then I'll get one. I think.
Yeah. Well, you got teenage kids now, so they can bear the brunt of some of the load. I mean, I was always.
You're joking. I won't do that.
Really?
No, I got up this morning, made them tea, made them coffee. I made their beds. Like I need to stop, but I can't stand the mess.
You made their beds. You made their beds, did you? Teenage.
Done the washing already. I'm terrible for it. But the last couple of days, I've left one of the bedrooms because I'm like, you are taking the pee, but they want to live like that. Let them live like that. I'm going to shut the door. But then every now and again, when I want a big sparkle, I have to.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm making any of the kids' beds. I ain't done that in a while.
Oh, really?
No, well, that's not my job. That's not man's work,
Are you one of them?
Not really.
Tell me you're one of them.
Not really.
That's a woman's job. That's a woman's job. Are you one of them?
I'm a grafter. Me. I like to get stuck in and help out now and then.
Right. There's a different side to you here.
No, don't get me wrong. I
think both should help.
No, definitely.
It should be about one person, because it is hard. I've had help and I've done it without help, but I like to be independent. I'm my own independent person. That's what's made me strong. But I think if I was with someone and they didn't help, or You know, sometimes I get frustrated with people help me, but
Mhm.
now I've like kind of stepped back and I accept the help.
It's
because I'm looking at help.
this is the problem with women sometimes. It's like, you know, they have their things where they want to do all the tidying up and everything like that, and then like the moment you come over to try and help, it's like, what are you doing? Don't do it that way. Do it like this. Do it like that. I'm like, if you want me to help, if I'm happy to help, let me do it. I can do it. But then leave me alone and let me do my thing. Don't come in and be like looking over my shoulder. Do it this way. Do it that way. You know, some women are like that. Very annoying.
So if I was sitting down and someone else is tidying up, I'll be on edge.
I think it's a woman thing.
Really,
I think it is. I think it's one of those territorial woman things. You know, once they're especially if they're at home. If they're at home and they've got their cleaning routines and stuff. You don't want to get in the way of that. Just leave them to it. Just let them go.
The only thing I would want help with is like someone to just do a couple of wash loads and hang it up neatly. I'd be happy with that. That's all I want.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All I ask.
On that note.
No, no.
On that note, Danny, that's our half an hour of the day. We've done pretty well, I think.
You doing anything else?
I'm trying to get some interviews in today. I'm just trying to get them confirmed. I don't know whether I've got this guy. I don't know whether it's appropriate. I don't know if I was thinking about whether or not you would want to do it or not. It's because he is an advocate for some. He's an advocate for some sort of marijuana or something like that. Some sort of drug. That he wants to sort of like, I don't know exactly the ins and out of it, but he's really trying to push it to sort of make it sort of like more legal, more accepted. I'm not sure the ins and outs of it. So that is on the schedule for today, but I don't know when he's going to come in. But I think it's he said to me like it'd be before like 1 o'clock, but between now and 1 o'clock, it just depends on whether he gets to whatever he's doing. But I don't know. I don't think I thought it. You know, with you're in recovery, I thought it'd be quite inappropriate for me to bring you in or something like that. Just
right. I'm gonna have a look at the transvestites and that today and search and message a load of them as well.
Okay.
Your message, a lot of them don't get back to you.
No, they don't get back to you, unfortunately. Like they do to me now. To be fair, I do get a response now. So some people will say, "Oh, I'm a bit too shy for that." I do get a response for new guests and stuff like that. But
how can they be shy though? The ones that actually go out and do the jokes and the party, drag queens. That's what I wanted to have a look at.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll look into that. Anyway, people. Today it's.
There's me vaping. Sorry.
No, you're right. Bruddc Entertainment, our morning show, myself and the lovely Danni Quinn. Everyone,